All right, guys. We just, I don't know what you guys know and don't know, but we just delivered, helmets to a local high school. We had 3 assistant coaches and myself talk to the youth, Northeast Ohio Youth Football Summit last weekend. And I think last week, right, we put a field in, another field turf, which makes 8 or 9 that we've done over the last few years. So I know you guys aren't interested very much about that, but we are. And we enjoy having these high school coaches and these high school programs come out because that's where everything we do starts. All right. And where's Tony at? I know he's itching to ask a question about the high school football, guys, so I'll open it up for question. Anybody?
Freddie, talk to those kids about the memories they make. What are your fondest memories of the days you played in high school, the guys you played with? And
really, it's truly what I told them. It's when you sit in a locker room, and it's no different than this locker room here, the locker rooms never change. And you're creating relationships that's going to last forever. Some of the best friends that I have are guys that I played with. And you can't replicate that in any other profession, any other form of life, of anything. You can't replicate it. And I just wanted to make sure they understood that because it's gone before you know it. And your playing days is gone before you know it. And there's going to come a time for everybody that's the last time they put a helmet on, That's why a couple of weeks ago the mini camp was so important. That's the last time some of those guys have put a helmet on. So you want to give them every opportunity, and they need to know that everybody's been where they're at. And when it ends, I still remember walking off of Etowah High School football field for the last time, and I went on to play at Alabama and all this stuff. But, I still remember that. I still remember the guys that were hugging after the game. It was the semifinals against Russellville High School. I still remember the field was sloppy. It was rainy, cold. I remember all those things. And I feel like I'm pretty well traveled, all right? So for me to still remember every aspect of that night is something special that they need to realize.
How nice was it to have Odell on the practice field yesterday?
It was nice. It was good. We're continuing to build our team and getting better. Each individual's trying to get better. We're not a team yet. We're a bunch of individuals trying to get better and trying to make the team. And then once we make the team, then we'll become the Browns. That's what we're interested in.
Freddie, how would you characterize the schedule under which Beckham will be here and not here? I'm sure you've talked about it.
I'm not concerned with it until it becomes mandatory, and that's June 4th, I think.
When you talk about trying to become a team, is presence right now valuable in that? Are you actually building team right now?
Well, I think we're building collectively. We're trying to come together and help each other out as we practice. But that started back, during meetings and stuff like that. Listen, I've never disputed the fact that it's not important for him to be here. But it's also important for him to be mentally ready to be here. All right, so I'm not giving him an out by any stretch of the imagination. Nobody here knows the conversations that Odell and I have. I'm just saying it's better for him to be here when he can present his best self, emotionally, physically, everything. And Odell Beckham's going to be here in the fall, and he's going to be a good football player in the fall, just like he has been. We just need to incorporate it into a team setting now and move forward with the Cleveland Browns, and that's what we're going to become. But are we there yet? No. And whether Odell's here or not here, we're not going to be the Browns yet. We're going to be the Browns when we line up in September.
Is he just at the point in his career, Freddie, where because of his experience and maybe Jarvis today not participating as much, where you just know they can step in when they have to?
Well, it's not that easy. But Odell understands he's got a lot of work to do in mini camp and in training camp. He understands that. Jarvis understands that. And Jarvis isn't just sitting out of practice either. We don't have to issue any kind of statements as far as why people are out or in or whatever. But it's not like you're going to step into it. There's still work to be done. We still got 6 weeks of training camp, and that's where we're going to build our team. It's all. Let me say this about this time of year. Me personally, this time of year is for knowledge more than anything else. It's for learning how to compete when you get to training camp, because that's when the team's going to be made. And that's the way I've always viewed it. That's the way I was brought up. You're just getting these young guys ready, knowledge-wise, to compete, technique-wise to compete, so you can see actually what you have in training camp, so they can actually compete with the possibilities of making the team. Did I just break something? Whose is it?
Yeah, right.
you owe me heavy.
Freddie, Mayfield's not
Maybe that was on purpose.
Mayfield isn't a rookie anymore. What's different about him? What do you see in the second year Mayfield as opposed to the rookie Mayfield?
Well, I think his understanding of protections and coverages, and I think everything. Like I said before, it's a continuous process with the quarterbacks. Baker's no different. There's going to be things that he wants to get better at 15 years from now, and he's going to retire one day and still wished he had gotten better at something. So it's a never-ending process, and he's going to continue to get better.
What do you want out of him in terms of leadership?
I want him to keep being himself.
Freddie, when you have a young guy, for instance, like Austin Corbett, who has an opportunity, not a guaranteed job, but an opportunity, during OTAs, what are you looking for from a guy like that?
For him to understand what he's doing, first of all, understand stepping and punching, and maybe I shouldn't say punching, but because it's no contact, but understand hand placement, footwork, and his assignments. And, you can't really tell much about the offensive line until you get pads on.
Your impressions so far of Kareem Hunt?
I love Kareem. He's putting the work in. What I really love more than anything about Kareem is he's handling his business off the field. He's been the person that he's continuing to try to be the person that he wants to be and that everybody here wants him to be. And we're going to continue to support him in every way possible to do that. And again, like I said before, that's first and foremost. Everybody knows what he can do on the field. The thing that doesn't get publicized a lot is what he's doing off the field, trying to get better as a person. And he's doing that. He continues to do that. And I don't expect anything different from Kareem.
What example are you seeing of that?
Well, I mean, Kareem's out in the community now every week. He's either involved in the community or he's actually doing some hosting of events in the community, trying to reach out to kids that could be headed down the same path, all right? Everybody in life is messed up, all right? And not everybody gets second chances, and he understands the gratitude of the second chance and what he has to do with it. And I think he's making the most of it. He really is. And there's a difference in coming back, getting a second chance, and just doing what you're supposed to on the field and going home and just being good, okay? But he's doing more than that. He's trying to have some outreach about him, about what he's doing and his mistakes. He hasn't denied anything. He owns up to it. And but he also understands that's a platform to get better and affect other people.
Has he taken the initiative to do that? And have you talked to him about it? Is it something he's enjoying and embracing?
I think it's totally him. It's not us. We support him in everything he does, but this is Kareem. He wanted to do that. He talked to us about him wanting to do that. So no, that's him. That's not us.
Is a coach?
Which is even better. Sorry to cut you off. It's even better. I mean, that's where it needs to come from. It needs to come from his heart and his words and things like that. So, I've been impressed with his the way he's going about things.
When a guy's had issues in the past, can you ever be certain that it's not going to come up again? And is that something that worries you as a coach?
Well, I try to live my life day to day, okay, and get better day to day. And I'm sure that's what Kareem's trying to do, is live better day to day. And that's what all of us do. I think we wake up in the morning and even you guys, I mean, you wake up in the morning and try to be better than you were in the previous day. And that's as a person, as a player, and everything. So the rearview mirror is a lot smaller than the windshield. And I'd rather focus on the windshield than looking in the rearview mirror.
How's he looking on the field? Picking things up and just getting in out there?
Good. He's very intelligent. He understands what we're doing offensively, protection-wise, in the run game, and then his ability speaks for itself. So he's doing really well. I'm really pleased with Kareem.
What kind of jump can you see Callaway make this year with all the attention on the other guys?
I tell you, Callaway has come back. He's been here, most of the time. He's in good shape relative to what he was in last year during training camp. He's added some explosiveness. He's been catching the ball really well. He's doing a good job, but just like everybody else, he has to continue. And it's what you can do for me tomorrow, not today. Today's over.
Last time we talked to you during rookie mini camp, we talked about Greedy and when he was talking about the Super Bowl. And then since then, Odell was talking about Dynasty and Baker in the Hall of Fame. I know you've kind of preached this, but do you have to keep kind of driving that point home that let's stop doing the predictions and let's focus on?
Well, I think maybe Odell was saying that he wanted to get to that point, and hell, I do too. I want to get to that point. I think the New England Patriots have played 587 playoff games or something like that with the collective team that they have on their roster right now. Tom Brady's played in 9 Super Bowls and won 6 of them. So I want to get there. So we can print that. I want to get to be what the Patriots are. And everybody in the National Football League, if they don't tell you they want to be what the Patriots are, they're lying to you. All right? So I think that's what he was saying. He wasn't making predictions and stuff like that. And again, we're not going to be in that business of making predictions. We're going to predict that we're going to work hard the next day and put our efforts into that.
Hey, Freddie, do you have clarity on how often and how much Kareem is going to be around you guys once you get beyond training camp and into the regular season?
We do not.
You don't?
No.
Have you asked the league to kind of work with you on that, or is it
That's above my pay grade.
What has your communication with Duke Johnson been? And do you expect to see him at any point before camp?
Well, I communicate with Duke often, or a few times, like a couple times a week probably, and but it's voluntary. There's nothing I can say. I think what we need to do as a league, if we want to keep bringing these things up, is make it mandatory. All right, but it's voluntary, and I don't really. Duke's another one. He can show up and he'll know what to do and he'll be ready to play. I fully expect him to be here in minicamp. He knows what's on the line, and then he'll be back with us in training camp. And I guess, we'll see where we go from there.
Is there a sense of disappointment that he's not here?
I'd be lying to say that I wasn't disappointed that we don't have everybody here. I'm not going to fool you and try to trick you into saying I'm happy-go-lucky fine with it. I want everybody here because I do think it's important to be here. But it's their option. But they understand what they have to do once they come here. And as long as everybody's on the same page as that, I'm fine. As long as they're ready to play. And Odell's going to be ready. Duke's going to be ready. All of them are going to be ready to play.
What have you thought
Couple more here.
Chubb seeing Chubb this year compared to a year ago?
Is he out there? Is he? No, just kidding. I'm trying to be funny here. But, Nick's ready to roll. He's going to be.
It's interesting you said that because it's kind of like.
Yeah, and another thing, I don't know if you guys got the AP wire or whatever. Is that an AP wire still going on these days? Anyways, we signed some defensive guys that can play football. We really did.
Yeah.
Sheldon Richardson, Olivier Vernon, Morgan Burnett. We added some pieces on defense too, and hopefully you guys in the fall start talking about them a little bit.
We're going to talk to Vernon today, so
yeah,
it'll be the first time. What have you learned about him since he got here? And
Vernon? Oh, Olivier?
Olivier Vernon.
We use first names, okay? That is a pet peeve of mine. But
Olivier
anyway, yeah. Olivier is he's exactly what we thought he was. He takes control on the field, takes control in the locker room, and he's the leader of the team. It's just we need to continue to mesh people like that and see where we're at.
Are you seeing the ways that you can really help Miles in that way, the experienced veteran who's been through a lot?
I think that's one part of it, and he can also help 95. He can also help Miles by him being on the other side. The more good football players you get around Miles, the better he's going to be. Just the case with anybody.
Freddie, what do you think,
Burnett?
Burnett?
To you in seeing the rookies, the young guys, mix in with all the veterans today?
That they can play, that they can actually compete with guys. If you look out there and you don't really realize a guy's a rookie, then that tells you something as far as what they look like. So they passed the test of the eyesight test, but other than that, not much of anything. Again, this is more about learning and seeing who will compete a little bit. But such limited action as far as how they can compete, you can't really tell much about that. But we'll get to that in training camp.
Freddie,
They've already been informed of that. No, go ahead.
Burnett could bring to the team.
I think he's a definition of a leader. He kind of gets those guys together. He's been to the fire. I like guys that have been in fights, like been in the fight, not in fights. We had one out there today that we're not going to deal with. You guys need to be around the next time that happens. So, but I like guys that have been to battle and or battle tested. Coach Parcells used to say all the time that he wants to leave training camp and his team be battle tested. All right, and that's what we want to get to. You just can't do it right now.
What is your message for those guys and stuff like that?
I'm not telling you that. So you'll have to see.
You kind of opened the door there.
Yeah, well, close.
Fair enough.
How about that? You like that one, didn't you?
What kind of things can a guy like Nick Chubb learn from Kareem, with Kareem being here during OTAs?
Well, I think anytime you put different players in the room and they're at the same kind of level as far as they've done it before. Nick's done it now. So Kareem can learn from Nick. Just it doesn't have to be the other way around, you know. So I think anytime you put two guys that are competitors like they are, it benefits the whole team. Benefits the room first, and then in turn benefits the team.